Hi, it's Paul with RackOutfitters.com. Here to go over the assembly and installation of the AeroBlade Rapid Traverse base roof rack system. On the vehicle behind me, we've already installed the front load bar. Here on the bench in front of me, we've already installed the driver's side foot to the bar. And so we've left the passenger side for us to go over all the details from start to finish on how that assembly and installation is done. So for starters, you have three components that make up a complete base roof rack system. You have the Thule Rapid Traverse foot pack. It's the 480R, which includes 4 of the feet, instructions, measuring tape, tensioning device, and a tensioning bolt plug. And then we also have a fit kit, which is very specific to the vehicle. So that'll include 4 of these door frame brackets, 4 of these rubber bases, a set of identification stickers, and your vehicle specific instructions. And then finally, of course, we have the AeroBlade load bar in the correct size for your vehicle with load bar end caps and underfill rubber strips. And also what we have partially installed, the diffuser strips for the top track of the bar, which is also included in a set of 2. So we'll go over some of the details to begin the assembly. So I'll grab the foot, and what we first want to do is open up the front panel and also open up this tensioning lever in the back. Next, what we want to do is make sure that all 4 of your feet have this tensioning lever completely unscrewed. From the factory, some might be tight, some might be loose. You want to start with them all completely loose, and there is no concern about this coming unscrewed completely. It'll stop once it's totally unscrewed. Okay, then what we can do is take our fit kit instructions, and here you'll see how you have your fit kit instructions that'll have driver's side, passenger side, and so on. And what we want to do is identify each of our feet with the identification sticker. That's very important because once you have the foot with a sticker on it, from that point on, it's very specific to the location on the vehicle. So we're doing the right rear, and so for the right rear, we just want to look at where it has the right rear, and then we can add the base pad, number 382 in this case, and the door frame bracket, number 1320. So to do that, I'll just go ahead and start with the base pad, and you can see the general shape, perimeter shape, and that matches this shape of the base, and just set that directly over the top, and then press around the perimeter of that base pad. Where it's thin, it tends to be very easy to press. Where it's thicker, it can be more difficult to press, but you just press and make sure it goes completely around all the edges. Next, we can go ahead and install our rubberized metal door frame bracket. And so to do that, you would pull this assembly downward and just make sure that it's fully extended. And then here you insert the door frame bracket up and all the way in until it goes completely behind this tab. That's very important. It's actually critical to the safety of the installation that is behind that tab. This retainer clip, once it's behind the tab, will keep it there, but it's very important that initially is installed behind that tab. Okay, so moving on to the next step, we'll go ahead and put the foot onto the bar. So we've already put the diffuser strip into one side. We'll go ahead and finish that off. And it's just a simple press fit. I usually like to press in from the ends inward and just make sure it's completely flat and pressed in. So that's finished. And we'll flip that upside down, and here you'll see the slide scale. The slide scale is an integrated measuring device specifically for the Rapid Traverse installations, and the scale numbers will correspond to numbers that have been assigned for the vehicle in this instruction sheet. So there are separate numbers for the front bar and the rear bar. So we've already done X, which is the front bar. We'll be doing Y, which is the rear bar. We've already done the driver's side, so we'll just be doing the passenger side. They're actually the same for both sides. That way the bars will be centered. So I'm just going to slide the scale until it reaches the number. It's 40 is the scale number. Okay, so I have it, the number 40 crosshatch right at the end of the slot for the bar. Next, I'll go ahead and turn the foot upside down, make sure it's completely loose so that this part is totally loose, and then I'll just guide it into the slot. Takes a little bit of jiggling sometimes just to get it to go. And then I'll move it up to the tab there, and then once I have it there, just snap it shut. Okay, and I also double check to make sure that didn't get moved in any way, so it still stayed right at the scale number 40. Okay, next we have the infill strip that needs to be placed in the remaining area that's exposed. And so what we want to do is just simply grab your infill strip and press it into place and slide it all the way up to the foot. And then you can, at this point, maybe use your thumb as an indicator just to determine exactly where to cut it. Just a standard household scissors will cut that. That goes for the wind diffuser strip as well. If you need to cut that, just a standard household scissors will do the job. And then you press that into place. A little bit of overhang into that squared out section there is kind of what you want. Next, you just want to look at your end cap, check the orientation of it, make sure that this sling cover is closed, and then I'll put it in the correct orientation, and this can just be snapped into place. So that snaps on. Okay, next what we can do, we're ready to install this onto the back position of the vehicle. So I'm going to turn to the next section of the fit guide, and here they're going to give you the distance from the front bar to the rear bar. Also, they're going to give you a graphic element there that will help to give you a good orientation of how the rubber base rests on the roof and how the door frame bracket rests in the door frame. That can be very helpful in some cases when it's not completely obvious. Okay, so this distance is both in metric and in inches. In inches, it's 27.5 inches. I can just remember that, and I'll take that measurement in my memory. And then I have the included measuring tape. I'll take our tension tool and our tension plug with me, and we'll go to the vehicle. So it's very important, first thing you do is make sure your vehicle roof line is clean. And the orientation of the bar is correct. So when you attach it, you can simply overstretch and then bring it back towards you. And at this point, I'm really just estimating about what that 27 inches is. And I'll come to that other side to show this in detail. So here I'm using the measuring tape from the front of the bar to the front of the back bar. And I'll do the same here. And just for information on the measurement on the front bar, that is done to where the window starts, which is 10.25 for this vehicle, and brought in a straight line to the side of the foot base. So that's our front. That's how our front measurement is determined. Of course, the same on both sides. Next, we'll take this measurement, and so I'll have that beginning there, and then I'm looking for our 27 inches, 27.5 inches. So I'm pulling that rear bar towards the front to get my 27 inches. And then next I can go ahead and begin our initial tensioning of this side. Also, I want to look to see how the base pad is resting, and so I'm setting it in place, and also to make sure that this door frame bracket is in alignment with the door frame. And so at this stage, I'm simply going to remove the slack from that door frame bracket, and then I'll go to the opposite side and do the same thing. Now, because I moved that rear bar, I am going to double check this side as well to make sure that this hasn't moved, and it did about 1/8 of an inch, so I'm going to get it back in alignment, and then I'll pull out the slack in this side. Also checking to make sure that those base pads are in the correct place that corresponds to where the instructions illustration showed. At that stage, I can even close the door. Now, I already have the slack removed over there. I have the slack removed here, and now I'll begin giving some tension to this side, and then some tension to this side. The key here is just making sure that you maintain even tension on both sides. Now with this particular foot, it is possible, if you're finding that the rubber bases are having a gap, you can actually twist the foot in the bar slightly to get it in perfect alignment. And so I feel like that's in perfect alignment. Now this tool has a unique tensioning device. It's called the AccuTight, and you can see how the green arrow is pointing to a notch in the gray handle. And so when you tension this, that green arrow will come in alignment with the gray notch. So I've got it fully tensioned. I've pushed that into place, closed that cover, and now the roof rack installation is nearly complete. Let me finish the last round of tensioning on this side. That's closed. Finally, what you want to do is just a general safety check, and that's where you grab the roof rack, and with the strength of your arm, check it to make sure that the door frame brackets don't slip, and you've got a good secure connection so that you have a safe, dependable roof rack system to support all the carriers that you may want to attach. So those are all the key installation and assembly steps. I'm Paul with rackoutfitters.com. Thank you for watching.